welcome to Studio Nicole. I am Nicole and I'm so glad that you're here. I am working in my 100-day journal and I am like 15 days behind, working on days 36 through 40 right now. I might get another page in tonight. We will see how I feel. It's been a really long day. It's been a really long week. It's only Tuesday and it feels like it's been a month this week already. I'm exhausted. I have been very busy, both in the studio and out, and that's my excuse for not having gotten anything done yet. So I have picked out my prompts from my prompt list, what I'm going to be doing for each one of the categories. For background techniques, I'm going to start with drip paint background, and I'm going to just use the colors that are currently on my desk. I have been working on a summertime cascade journal, and so all of these yummy greens are just already right here. Greens and yellows. And so I'm just going to use that color palette rather than going to try and find something else. It's all right here. I'm just going to use it. So I'm going to start by kind of creating a background. You can tell, as usual, that I'm being very precise with this. Just adding some paint onto the page and then I'm going to smear it around. I want to start with kind of a light background, and then I'm going to drip some darker paint over top of that. And this is Color Shift paint. Which one was it? Here it was Folk Art Color Shift, which is Green Flash. And I do really love the metallic element of this on the page. I like that it kind of is shimmery, a little bit holographic. I'm going with just kind of a variegated modeled background with some light colors. I'm just gonna fill in this background. I haven't prepped my page with any kind of gesso or anything. I could have done that and it would have given me maybe a little bit more fluid like paint run. But I'm being lazy and I'm trying to get this done fast because it's already like 7:30 at night and I haven't gotten done the things I was hoping to get done. And so trying to fit it all in and make it work. So while I'm painting this background, I can give you guys like a little spoiler of what I have been up to. I have been building my website and I had to work on a landing page and I had to work on a ticketing platform and I had to build in like a like a payment system because I'm so excited. I'm going to put it out in a whole other big like reveal video and everything. But if you watch this, you'll hear it first probably. I'm going to put on a retreat this summer. So excited. I'm whispering. Can you hear me? It doesn't quite feel real yet because I haven't really told anybody yet. I mean, my family knows, obviously, because I've been talking about it nonstop. But I haven't marketed it at all yet. I'm not sure that this is going to work the way that I think it's going to work. Because I don't think this paint is like, I think the paint is too like bloopy. It's too thick and heavy. And it's not going to give me the paint run effect. See, this is not really working very well. The paint is too blobby, which is fine. It's okay. We can pivot. We can pivot. We can do that. I'm gonna just kind of like, right. I'm just gonna mix that into the background. maybe I will use, no, I won't because I don't have any paper towels over there. Oh, here's one. I was gonna say maybe I will use a paper towel and like blot some of this up. This works to give me a little bit more like variegated background. Can you see? Probably you can't. It all looks the same on camera, probably. Hmm. Hey, that was like an hour pause. There was all kinds of stuff going on and yeah, but I'm back and I have my background finished. I've got some greens and some yellows on the page and I'm not going to use this heavy paint in order to do the drip. I'm going to use acrylic ink. So it's an ink drip and not a paint drip, but oh well. I'm going to make a judgment call, an executive decision to say that that's good enough. I have two colors here. I have green, a Bombay ink in green, and then I also have a Liquitex acrylic ink in turquoise deep. I'm gonna try the green, but I think it's gonna skew kind of bluish anyway, and so I'm just not sure if I want to alternate some of the turquoise in to really lean into the blue. That's kind of what I'm thinking. So I have just put a very thin line of the ink across the top, and now I'm going to use just plain water and I'm going to spray, and then that ink is going to drip down the page. I don't want it to be a really heavy drip, like I because yeah, I don't want a whole lot of contrast. And I don't want it to go all the way down the page. So that's why I didn't put a whole lot of ink at the top. I could have used a much more ink and it would have dripped down much heavier, thicker, and darker. And I didn't really want that. I kind of am happy with these like lighter drips. I'm going to do a gold uh, quote over this. And so I just want something kind of in the middle. I'm trying to like move this around just a little bit. Um, where did that paper towel go? I'm dabbing off the bottom because I don't really want it to go all the way down the page. So I'm kind of dabbing it off so that it stops before we get to the bottom. And I'm probably going to have to dry this. So I'll be right back. Okay. It is mostly dry, except for the very tips of some of the drips where it was just really wet. I got bored drying all of that. I think drying the paint is it's like it's the cost of doing business, but nobody really loves it, right? All right, I'm going to go back in and do a second layer with this turquoise. I think it's going to go nicely with this green color, but you can see that the green is pretty blue already. It like skews to the blue side of the spectrum. And so I think this blue um is going to be like a nice complement, but still go nicely with the background. Might be a little too much blue, actually. We'll see. Ugh, I don't know. It's a lot of blue. It's a lot of ink. Trying to move. One of the things I love about the ink drip, this is really one of my favorite techniques. I just love how unpredictable it is. Like you really just don't know what you're gonna get. Um, I feel like some of this is very heavy. All right, I'm gonna pause it again and dry this layer. Okay, I've got it all dried and I definitely have some layers, some cooler, not cooler, some lighter versions of green in the back and some darker, kind of more turquoisey blues in the front. I think it looks good with the background color. So I am going to say the ink drip background is done. That was number 15. It's technically supposed to be drip paint, but I think I'm calling it anyway. And the next one I said I was going to do was metallic pen accents. Um, I am also going to combine that with number 70 and number 98. So number 70, let's see, well, let me look at my list. Okay. Number 31 on here is metallic pen accents. And then number 70 is song lyrics integrated onto the page. And number 98 is a painted quote as a central image. So I'm going to use all three of those together, and I'm going to use my Chrome marker to write song lyrics on the page, and I'm going to focus in on um, like the title, basically the song title. And I think I'm going to do Truly Madly Deeply, which is a Savage Garden song. It was our wedding song, my husband and I, and it's kind of like our song, and I love it, and I don't know, I just want to kind of bring that out on this page. So I do want that to be the focal image, but one other mixed media element that I'm going to put on this page is number 46 on the mark making techniques page, and that is, nope, not mark making, mixed media and layering. Sorry about that. Number 46 is ephemera laying, ticketing, tickets, receipts, etc. So I have this I have this like bits of just kind of like random stuff. And I thought because I do have some like scraps here that would maybe make like a neat little collage cluster, I could certainly do that. I also have some um photo negatives that I love to use. They're super fun on a page as well in a layer. I don't know what pictures these are. I don't have any idea. I don't think they're my photos. Um, the ones that I keep in my craft stash are usually ones that I have like picked up at other places. I'll either buy them or find them and kind of use them. So I've got, I don't think the colors are very good in this. I have these colors look really well, but I don't know that that's the kind of, I don't know that that's exactly what I want. Some printables. Lots of printables. Oh, this is so pretty. This was from my trip to Amsterdam last year. This was from the Van Gogh Museum, and these tree branches look so like good with this, but I don't think that it works with like what I had in mind. I could definitely do something like this, but I would want to like cut the leaves out and sort of like put them coming across the page. I don't want to do that in this. I think it's a cool idea, but I don't want to do it for this particular card. So I am just digging through this pile. I have so many random things. A lot of it is like vintagey type stuff, which is kind of what I'm looking for. Some ephemera. I don't know. I'm not really seeing things off the top of my head that are like jumping out at me here. Maybe some book pages, music paper. Always a good bet. Hmm. No. Okay. All right. So I'm going to use what I have. I have these papers right here that were just at the top of the pile. I'm digging for no reason. It's going to take me an hour to dig through that, and I'm probably not going to find anything better than what I already have. So I'm going to just build a collage cluster somewhere on the page. Maybe I'll put that part in the back. I like that. So some of this, like this, some more of that. No, I don't want to do that. Maybe like this. So I do have, oh, I forgot I wanted to use some of this music paper. Let's tear a little bit off of here. Let's see how we like that. Oh, nothing ever works when you need it to. I just need this to go back in the packet. um, I mean, I'm just kind of like building a cluster, right? I'm just piling things up and kind of arranging them on the page. I really do like the photo negative. And then I have this, which looks like a rusty heart. That's what it's supposed to look like. But haha, it is really, I sound like such a dork when I did that. Uh, it's really, it was a cutout heart from a piece of tissue box that I did this like super fun technique on the front where you put down glue and cinnamon, like actual like cinnamon from your spice cabinet, and then you use a heat gun on it, and it looks like rust. So I was thinking I could use that as a like the kind of the focal image of the collage cluster. So this is what I'm doing. I'm not going to overthink it. I could spend a lot of time thinking through the placement of all of these items, and I don't want to do that right now. But I can't find my glue stick. All right, I will use this. I think I maybe have too many layers to my. Nope, I can't use that. It's not gonna work. Okay, hold on. All right, new glue stick to the rescue. I will definitely have to use the heavier duty glue for. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out where I want this to be kind of on the page. I will have to use the heavier duty glue for the photo negative and for the heart because it's kind of like heavy cardstock, not heavy, but heavier cardstock. Um, so I will do that. But for these light, flimsy papers, this kind of glue works so much better. Um, and then I will use this glue. I might have to use a staple actually on this because sometimes the negatives just don't want to stay. Since I'm going to be covering it up anyway, it doesn't matter. I don't need fancy, pretty colored staples. I just want it to be something. And then I don't even know if I want that one on at all. I think I just want to go with this. I'm not sure. Not sure if that'll work. I might even need another staple. I'm gonna staple on this end too, so the edge kind of stays down. Oh, and the stapler stuck on the page. Don't you love it? Oh, goodness gracious. It's like a comedy of errors. Okay. So that will help it stay down more. I've got some glue on there. I'm going to put this paper down over the top. And I'm going to use the heavier glue. I think this is probably Eileen's. So put that down. How's that? Do I want some like fiber? I kind of maybe think I do. Maybe I will throw a little bit of string behind here. Because why not? When we are layering with mixed media, you can layer anything you want. We like texture. We like depth and dimension. We like a little chaos on the page. Do we like an end point on the thread though? There it is. There it is. There it is. Okay. Are we having fun yet? You guys have fun? Let me know if you think I'm crazy or if this is fun for you. It is fun for me. I sometimes feel crazy, but it is also fun. So I guess it's allowed to be both things. And I'm just going to stick that thread kind of down, sticking it into all that glue. And then I'm going to put the part back on there. Maybe I should. Sorry, I'm just looking at the composition of the page, and because this negative is going horizontally, it's like horizontally aligned on the page. I'm going to try and align the thread, not string. I'm going to try and align the thread vertically instead, so that you can kind of see it and kind of make out what it is instead of it just like being hidden. I think I need way more glue than what I have here because I just like smudged all the glue off. It all ended up on my fingers instead of on the page. Okay. So that is my collage cluster on my page. I have some browns. I have a little bit of, I've pulled in some green with this like green colored ledger paper. It's reproduction. None of this is like real stuff, but now I'm going to do my other three all together in one. I'm going to do the song lyrics as a painted quote, and I'm going to use a metallic pen to do it. So I'm going to just do really big on the page, truly, madly, deeply. I think I'm going to do it right here. And I might come in with a thinner, like a fine tip black pen and write some of the other lyrics kind of around and behind this collage cluster. That's kind of what I'm thinking. I will, I'm not going to talk through this part. I'll probably just speed it up so you can kind of watch me do the hand lettering, but not have to watch in real time because I'm sure it'll take a while. Okay, I don't love how that turned out. The writing is fine. I mean, it's not my best writing ever, but the writing itself is fine. It just doesn't have enough um contrast. I was hoping that the gold would kind of like stand out more against the background, but the background is already a little bit shimmery and then the gold kind of shimmers into it. I should have anticipated better, but it's all okay because we can fix it. First of all, I need to let this dry and then do another like a touch up coat on some of this because as I was doing it, it was just like wiping off. I think it still is. It's still not really doing what I want it to do here. Oh no, I just smeared the gold over here. Oh no. Uh-uh. Who said I was an expert at this stuff? I never claimed to be such a thing. I am an experienced beginner. That's what I am. We're all just practicing. Okay, I'm going to dry this. So that I won't keep smearing it. And I am going to obviously like add some shadowing. I'm just trying to figure out how I want to do that. Do I want to do that with a pen like this? Do I want to do it with some watered down black ink? Or do I want to do it with a Stabilo pencil? I tend to reach for a Stabilo pencil. Um, Like I just that's sort of my go-to. I still oh, 'cause it's all over my hand is why. I was gonna say I still feel like I have paint. I mean, this is definitely more visible on the page, right? You can kind of tell and see it and read it better. I don't know if it's fitting the vibe that I had in mind, but let's see how it looks when I water it down with a little bit of water. How bad does that get? Well, it's probably not going to work out very well because the letters are so close together. There's not really anywhere for the stabilo to go. I mean, this is not terrible. It's not terrible. Ooh, so it's okay. What's that expression? I'm sure you guys have heard this before. You either win or you learn. I feel like I do a lot of learning in my mixed media, right? Which is which is really fine actually. Like I do think that you can certainly approach mixed media with the perspective that you always want to be good at what you're doing. And so if you do, then you're always going to do the things that you know you're good at and you know that how they work and um you know you're going to get a good result. And that is fine. If you know like if you are trying to make a living off of your art, then you certainly want like a consistent product. You want to know what you're getting into when you try something. But that is not what I am doing with my art in any way. I want to be exploring and experimenting and trying new things. And you know, a big part of that is that it doesn't always work out. It just doesn't. Like and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with the uncertainty of it. I'm okay with failure. I'm just okay with that. I think it's, you know, it's an exciting part of being an artist is, you know, just like letting go and seeing what happens. We will see. Um, so I'm just shadowing here. You guys can see, obviously, I'm trying to do like the right hand side and the underside of any of these letters. Whenever you're trying to do shadows, you always want to think about like where the light is coming. So in my case, the light is over here and it's shining this way. So anything opposite from the light is going to be the shadow. That's if you haven't sort of mastered the art of shadowing, that is one way to think about it that might be helpful. This is just think about where the light is coming from, and then your shadows go on the opposite part of your so it's definitely easier to read. I do like that it when it's kind of like smeared out a little bit. Let me use a different paintbrush though, and I'll have a little bit more too much water. I do like smearing out the stabilo though a little bit. I don't like a crisp line almost ever. You know, I really like it to be a little messy. Now, the one thing about using water with your Stabilo is it does look initially like it's getting much, much darker, right? Because the pencil really activates and you get a much thicker line, you get a much deeper, darker effect on the page. But that is only the initial uh, reaction. And over time, oh, too much water, over time, as that dries, it will actually lighten up and you get a lighter um, application of the Stabilo than you did originally when you were leaving it sort of like undiluted. So it's deceptive in that it looks like it's going to be really heavy and dark and deep, but then as it dries, it actually dries lighter than this. All right, gonna pause it and dry one last time. Okay, that is my page with my dried quote. I have a painted quote as a focal image. I have gold metallic accents. I have song lyrics integrated onto my page. I do think that I want to use this gold and kind of trace, I don't know. I was gonna try and do some like some kind of maybe just some mark making um elsewhere on the page, like just so that this gold kind of comes across the page a little bit. That's kind of a good rule of thumb, is to always have different elements show up on the page in more than one place. So I'm gonna have some dots and some dashes kind of happening around the page. And that will kind of help things to stay cohesive. And it just kind of helps the background not feel so empty. But also, I think I do want to use a pen. I don't know if this one will work. It might. It's awfully fine. I do want to use a pen and write in some of the other lyrics. So I'll probably either speed that up or pause it, and I'll come back because that's going to take a lot of time and energy. It's going to be really kind of small writing. Okay, JK, I'm not going to add any written lyrics to the background of the page because none of my markers will write on top of this shimmery paint. I could probably add a layer of clear gesso to the page and do it, but I think instead I'm just going to do some splatter and I'm going to call it. I don't need the song lyrics. I've got the title. I know the song lyrics, so I'm just going to call it. We're going to go with that. Sometimes things don't always work out. That is more often than not the moral of the story. Look at all the black pens that I tried to make this work. None of them worked. No luck. They either smeared or they didn't write over top of the gold. So I tried kind of mucking the gold up a little bit. That didn't work. Oh, that's pretty heavy. Oh. That out. Why is splatter hard? Like it shouldn't be difficult. But it always is. Not always. It is tonight. I'm gonna just wipe the splatter off of the gold letters because I don't want them to stay there. Take this off. All right. So I've got some splatter on my page. I've got my background. I've got my words. I have my collage cluster. Is it my favorite page ever? It is not. I actually don't love the colors. Oh, you know what happened when I was drying my page? The heat gun melted the photo negatives a little bit. Oh well, fine. It's not my favorite page ever, but it is a page. I tried out a couple of different techniques. I learned something about, what does work and what doesn't work. I'm going to touch up the words probably because they're still a little kind of not as clear as I would like. The gold just didn't stay in some places. So I'm going to do another coat of the gold. But other than that, I think I'm going to call this page done. I wish that I had chosen different background colors here. I thought that this was going to add a little bit of contrast, but I just don't love the colors together. I don't love like the pinkish with the green. Not a fan. But that's okay. Now I know that. Don't do that again, right? All right, folks, thanks for sticking with me. I am 2 pages behind on the 100-day project. I hope that I will get caught up one of these days, but as long as I keep plugging away a little bit at a time, I will eventually get there. I have faith, so I'm not going to worry too much about it. I'll keep checking in whenever I get a few minutes to do one of these pages. I hope you're following along. I hope you're having a good time with it, and thanks so much for being here. I'll see you in the next video. Have a good night, folks. Okay, I am popping back in right here at the end of the video. This is the next day. It's like the next morning, and I couldn't leave it alone. Um, so what I did was I took some of this color and I went over the letters and then I rubbed it back, just so that it's got a little bit of like a pink tinge to the letters, so it connects better with this collage cluster. Like the color story works better together now than it did. I also ended up sharpening my Stabilo All pencil and I used that to write in some of the lyrics that I wanted on the page. And I think that gave it a little bit more balance. I also did a page border. I started with this and that wasn't enough contrast. So then I went ahead in with the Stabilo again. And I'm not activating this with water. I'm just going to leave it stand the way it is. And I'm much happier with this now. So I just wanted to pop back on here at the end and let you know, like, the final update of what the page ended up looking like.